What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, and the overall markets. I'm going to break down some big news that just came out that's very important for NIO, which you should be watching for as time goes on. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you sign up for Moomoo with the link down below and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 25 in total. And deposit $5,000, you're guaranteed 60 free stocks. The offer ends very soon, in just about a couple of months from now. It's been extended, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's talk about what's happening with this market. So looking at NIO, as you could tell, we're getting tighter and tighter and tighter as time goes on. Now, if we break support, we're looking for a move lower, and that's what's been happening thus far. Now we're establishing the support right here at previous resistance, which is at that 3.63 area. If we hold this, I'm looking for a bounce to fill the gap to 3.8. If we lose 3.63, though, we could be dipping lower. So I'm hoping we do try to get a bounce from here because we've been dipping quite a bit without much of a bounce yet. So I'll be talking more about that in just a couple of minutes. As a reminder, Mizuho maintains a neutral rating for NIO, and the price-price ratio is dipping as NIO is losing some strength compared to the market. Despite this, NIO maintains a strong vision and very strong fundamentals that will help us at least for the longer term. But for the short term, we're not really there quite yet. Now, despite all of this, we have Morgan Stanley giving us a buy rating. They're expecting the share price to go up to $5.90, especially after they have released the ET5 and the ET5T with over 500 upgrades. This makes a lot of their rivals, once again, it's gonna help them rival at least a lot of different vehicles, and simultaneously this gives them a bigger edge as time goes on. We saw a nice amount of growth in the month of April, and we're looking for a lot of growth at least moving forward, especially as they expand their next factory. So once we get those margin improvements, things will improve for them fundamentally, but it needs more time. We're getting closer, guys, so you have to be very patient. Besides that, there is a lot of news that came out about how the US and EU have agreed to fast track negotiations as they decide to pause the 50% tariffs for a good while. So that's what's happening so far, as what President Trump was talking about. He also mentioned that he wants the world to see trade deals with us. He wants lots of trade deals, and simultaneously he mentioned that he's very satisfied with the 50% tariff allotment on the EU, especially since they were slow walking their negotiations. That's what he claimed, at least so far. So he's very optimistic thus far. Now we have a couple of catalysts for the markets going into tomorrow. It's going to be Wednesday, so keep in mind tomorrow we have what's known as the FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is not a conventional FOMC meeting. It's just going to be a report about the minutes. This is going to let us know what happened during the meeting in terms of what these other Fed officials want, not just Jerome Powell. And we'll see what their views are when it comes to monetary policy. So expect volatility tomorrow at 2 p.m. And then we also have Nvidia's earnings. This is going to be a big one because Nvidia does cause a lot of volatility for the markets. If they do very well tomorrow after market close, we're looking for a big move. So get ready for all of that. On top of this, the fear and greed index is currently at greed, is making up the majority of sentiment. Right now, momentum's at extreme fear. We're going to see how this ends up reacting. And the puts call option ratios, once again, just continuing to climb a bit, which is not the best of signs. But despite puts being basically bought a bit more, I still think that there's a squeeze coming to the markets as buyers are defending. So NIO needs to hold 3.63. As long as you hold this, we're looking for an attempt to bounce for 3.8. I think there's a very, very good chance of that potentially panning out. As far as SPYs going, we look very bullish. We have a lot of catalysts from FOMC minutes and such. If we end up losing 588, though, we could be dipping back down to 585. As long as we're above that, we're actually favoring 592.5 to about much higher levels. On the QQQ, if we lose 517, we're looking for a dump back down to fill this gap. But if we start breaking out above 522, we're looking bullish. And as of right now, we favor a test of 522 or above, so we look bullish. The IWM is looking bullish, looking for 210. As long as we don't lose 204, we're favoring upside for small caps. ES looks bullish. We're favoring a retest of these highs up here with this inverse head and shoulder structure. As long as we don't lose 5,900, we're looking a bit more bullish. NQ is looking bullish as long as we don't lose 21,200, so it looks pretty good so far. Bitcoin's looking decent. As you guys can tell, it's dipping a bit, but we want to see this hold 108,000 to bounce. So far, it's holding up very nicely. Tesla looks very bullish. It's breaking out of this flag. This has a lot of potential to continue to push so long as we hold support. We're looking for an attempt to push for 368 to about 370 as our target. For Nvidia, I do see this potentially going higher based off the setup, but it depends on earnings. If earnings go really well tomorrow, this will continue to launch, so we'll see how that goes. Apple's going to be testing 201, then 203 are resistances. AMD looks pretty good so long as we don't lose 112. We're favoring 115. Coinbase, it looks decent so long as we don't lose 263. We're looking to see if we can get a bounce from here. So we'll give that some time. Amazon's looking bullish so long as we don't lose 203. We're favoring a push for almost 210. For Meta, we look bullish so long as we don't lose 635. We're favoring 650. Google's looking more bullish so long as we don't lose 175. We're favoring 178. And Microsoft is looking more bullish as well, favoring basically the 460s. So overall, the VIX looks bearish. The overall market's looking more bullish, and we're doing a fantastic job, at least thus far, which makes me very, very excited. So please keep that in mind. So that's going to be very important, at least for us moving forward. So please keep that in mind as time goes on. So that's going to be what we're going to be looking for, at least as time goes on as well. So the market remains more bullish. There's a good chance we try to continue to pump, and we'll give the market the time it needs. So please be very, very ready. As far as NIO goes, I want to see a base at 3.6 so long as that holds. We're looking for an attempt to push for 3.8. And there's most definitely potential as time goes on. Thank you for listening. Please have a good one, guys, and peace out, as we look more bullish. I want to see us basically hold 3.63 to bounce for 3.8 tomorrow, and there's upside potential depending on FOMC minutes and all of that. Lots of data comes out tomorrow with FOMC minutes and Nvidia's earnings, so get ready, do what you have to do, and peace out.